Hello everybody and welcome back to The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel. On the last episode, two merchant stalls were destroyed and their goods stolen. Now we are going to find out who's really responsible, because the army doesn't care, but I think it was the army. And one of the quests that I have is, from one of the people's stalls. What am I doing? Okay, there. I always just check my map. What was I doing? Excuse me, would you happen to be Lizzie? That's correct. Does that make you the students from Thor's who the market manager said would be coming then? Yep, that's us. We came to see you about the request you sent in. Could you explain the situation for us in full? Of course. I happened to come across someone's wallet by my store yesterday, you see. I kept it with me in the hopes that they would come pick it up, but no one's came to claim it. As such, I'd like to ask all of you for your help in delivering it back to its owner. Would you be able to do that for me? We'd be happy to help. Thank you. Here's the wallet I found then. We'll be sure to take good care of it. I assume that you've already inspected its contents? I did indeed. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything inside that could help identify the owner. What exactly was inside anyway? Well, naturally, there was Mira in it. I couldn't believe just how much there was, though. The only thing was a train ticket to Helmadar that's scheduled for tonight. It sounds like the owner is fairly well-off traveler then. There's not much we can do with that as our only lead, though. I believe the train ticket is potentially our best lead. Yeah, but what should we do with it? Should we go ask the station? Yeah, considering it's for the train that leaves tonight, I imagine the owner is frankly searching for it, which means they might have already been to the station themselves to ask about it. Let's head over to the station then. Sorry for the trouble, but I'm counting on you for this. Let's knock this out of the park quickly, because we got another quest to do, and then we got the main story quest, and I do want to see how many I can get through quickly. Okay, so this train station is over here, according to my quest marker. After entering the station, they asked whether or not there had been any inquiries regarding the lost property. Yes, there was an inquiry. The wallet seemed to match the description well received too. Can I ask when the inquiry was made? I believe it was this morning. A young lady came along in a panic, claiming that she was completely lost. Was at a complete loss without her wallet and its contents. From what I could tell, she seemed to have been traveling alone too. I get why she would be in a panic then. Did she say anything else that could lead us to her? She mentioned something about returning to the inn to do a thorough check, if I recall correctly. It's the Werscock right down the street. He came and said, how convenient. We happen to be staying there ourselves. Right, let's go ask Margaret. Margaret. Ah, that name. I don't remember where the inn is. I just know it's close by. There it is. Move. Hey there, something the matter? Do you have a moment? There's something we'd like to ask you. Green explained the situation to Margaret and asked if anyone had come along looking for the wallet. Oh, you're looking for Annabelle. Oh gosh, more names like this. Bad timing though, she just left. That's unfortunate. Oh great. But we have a name now, at least. That makes life a lot easier. True. All that's left now is to actually meet with her. She mentioned that she'd be searching the rest of the area in the Grand Market next, so you'll want to head there. Make sure you return it to her, okay? We will. Let's go. She has more than us. We're broke. Even though we have the mirror that we can sell, I just don't feel like doing it right now. Should be about 3,000 gold worth the mirror. So. I'm not really interested in any of those except for the nun. Except for the nun. Okay, yeah, I'm going the right way. Click. Excuse me. You wouldn't happen to know a young lady came in here searching for a wallet, would you? She was indeed here a few moments ago, but she's gone now. Of course. Do you know where she went then? Unfortunately not. She did mention something about having no choice but to rely on Idiodos now, though. Does that help you at all? I think there's only one place that could be. Shall we make our way to the church then? Yeah, that seems like our best bet for now. That is literally the one place I can't fast travel to. But I got a dash. So it don't matter. And I know where I'm going anyway, so. Click. Oh, Idiodos, please have mercy on my poor soul. I simply cannot believe this. How am I supposed to live on having lost all of my mirror in a place like this? Looks like we found her. And the tragic heroine act made it kind of obvious. Fortunately, we'll have to interrupt her. Excuse me. Eek! Just who are all of you? Well, you can turn right around if you're planning to rob me. I no longer have any. Please calm down. We just want to ask you something. Are we correct in assuming that you are Annabelle? I am. Thought so. You wouldn't happen to recognize this wallet, would you? That's my wallet. Where did you find it? Well, you see. They returned the lost wallet to Annabelle and explained the situation to her. And oh gosh, her hair color. Oh, it fits too perfectly for the name. I'm surprised to hear that a merchant from the Grand Stall kept it safe for me, however. Kindness remains within people's hearts after all, it would seem. Looks that way, yeah. Regardless, I'm very grateful that you found it for me. Is there any particular amount you'd like in return? You can take half of what's currently in here if you like. I don't think we can accept that. Your thanks alone are enough. I see. Well, how about this then? I purchased a souvenir at the Grand Market before the Great Wallet search began. I see no reason you can't accept that. In fact, I insist. I hope you find it useful. Thank you. We gracefully accept then. You're very welcome. Thanks again for finding my wallet. Oh, it teleported me back. So you managed to find the owner after all. Then, thank goodness. I really can't thank you enough. I'm glad we could be of help. Please excuse us then. Okay, question number 2. Something in highway area stuff. That was also not English. That probably can't even count as gibberish. Stonebridge is leading to Hill West Suddock Highway. Okay, whatever. Oh, that's how you gonna play it, huh? All right. Straight. There must be cutscenes. Oh, I am being hindered by main story from finishing the side story. Wow. That is not cool. I don't even like side quests, and I'm doing this because I accepted the game's challenge of getting to the top of that score. What did I ever do to deserve this? Excuse me. You. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry you had to see me acting like that. I hope you can forgive me for my inappropriate behavior. He seems really down. It's quite understandable. He's a merchant in a busy market, unable to do business. So what brings you here? Did you need something from me? Well, actually, Reen explained that he and his classmates were investigating the truth behind what happened the previous night. You're investigating? That's right. We really appreciate it if you can answer a few questions for us. You may be able to help us find the true culprit. I suppose it can't hurt. It's better than doing nothing, at least. You don't have to sound so pessimistic. Well, can you blame me? You're students at a military academy. You're not exactly ace detectives. That's true, but we're still determined to find who did this. We may even be able to recover your goods. Cooperating with us could prove quite fruitful. Okay, fine. I never said I wouldn't help you, did I? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say, though. It's not like I saw anything worth mentioning. You didn't? As soon as I made sure my stall was ready to open the next morning, I left everything set up and went home. The other merchants around here can vouch for that. Guess I shouldn't have left my stall unattended, though. By the time I got in, it was too late. The deed had been done. So by morning, the stall had already been destroyed and your goods stolen? Come to think of it, what goods were stolen exactly? Oh, I have a sample with me, actually. An accessory? Is this a brand that's popular in the capital? It's been a real hit lately, yeah. I was hoping to bring the fad here by selling them at the market, but this is the only one I have left now. I dread to think just how much money I lost in one single night. The damn cowards sabotaging my business. It's much too early to be jumping to conclusions. Do you have any evidence that proves his culpability? No, but he's clearly the prime suspect. He was so against the idea of taking turns sharing the spot with me. He declared he'd destroy my soul altogether. I just know it. I'm going to get him to give me my goods back no matter what it takes. But please try to stay calm. Do you know if you cause any more trouble, the Promised Army really will arrest you, right? Yeah, I know. But it's a matter of justice. I can't just act like nothing ever happened. It's wrong on general principle. I'm begging you, please get my goods back, whatever it takes. Well, I can't promise success, but I swear we'll do everything we can. That much I can promise. I think that's everything this merchant knows. Let's try questioning the other one. What the hell am I supposed to do now? Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but could we have a moment of your time? You're the kids from that military academy, right? What do you want from me? I got nothing to sell you, obviously. Even if I did have something to sell, I've got no place to sell it. I'm basically ruined. And on top of it all, the Province's army and that other damn merchant are acting like I'm the one who did it. He's not taking this very well, is he? Hard to blame him, but we need to see if he knows anything that might help us. Well, you see, yeah, we already read this in the last one. You're investigating this, Beth, huh? Okay. So would you consider cooperating with us? Sure, why not? Not getting my hopes up, as I'm sure you can understand, but hell, I got nothing left to lose. Not exactly the vote of confidence. He took it, yeah, his response was better than the other guys. Hey, he's willing to cooperate. And I say we cut him some slack and hear him out. So about last night, at the time of the incident actually happened. Last night, huh? I don't know how much help I can be, if that's what you're asking about here. See, I left the market right after arguing with the merchant yesterday, and I didn't come back till this morning. I stayed over at a friend's place. Another merchant just got pissed drunk and ranted at him all night. And you're certain of this? Positive. Ask my friend if you don't believe me. He'll back me up. I wandered over here with an awful hangover this morning, and what I found gave me a hell of a start. My whole stall in shambles. And as if it weren't bad enough, all the processed foods I was going to sell were just gone without a trace. So all the goods you've stolen, all the goods you've stolen. Oh, I guess he is already the thief. No, I'm just messing. So all that were stolen were all processed foods. That's right, nuts, cheese, bacon, all foods that have a long shelf life, made with local ingredients. Seeing all my stuff gone really sobered me up. It was like I hadn't been drinking at all. And that's when I went over to the full stall to make him pay for it. Why did you go straight to him? Because he was the one who did it, of course. He smashed my stall so that he could have the spot to himself. But that doesn't make any sense. If Hines did it, why was his stall destroyed too? He must have done that to himself. Oh, great. I knew he was going to say that. Probably figured if he destroyed his own stall, no one would believe he could be responsible. I don't know. That seems pretty unlikely. It's a bit excessive, especially for a merchant that has a business deadline. While I understand your frustration, baseless accusations do not do no one any favors and only cloud the true issue. Ugh. But it's so frustrating. I've lost so much money because of this. I might have to shut up shop for good. That is bad. If I could at least get my goods back, maybe I can salvage enough to stay aloof, but what are the odds of that? None of the other merchants saw anyone do anything, and the province army sure ain't about to help. Finished, pure and simple. All the hard work I put into getting this far, and this is how the dream ends for me. Well, I'll be honest, I'm not sure how much we'll actually be able to do for you, but we'll do everything in our power to help you find some form of closure. So cheer up, okay? I do appreciate that, but again, I ain't getting my hopes up. Good luck, though. He's smart not to get his hopes up because we can't make any promises. That's all the two victims of this crime have to say, it seems. What does everyone think? I can't be sure, but I really don't think any of them is responsible. Both merchants certainly have a deep motive to damage the other stall, but the chances of both committing the same crime on the same night without crossing paths is virtually nil. It's not impossible that they were just out to steal each other's merchandise, but I don't believe that's what happened. Both of them have alibis confirming that they were somewhere else when the crime took place. I'm inclined to agree. I just can't see either of those merchants being responsible for what happened, so we're going to have to look elsewhere to find valuable substrate. Where though? I mean, who could possibly have been? Anyone? She's drawn a blank. It's impossible to say right now. We don't have any solid leads. I know who the culprit wasn't, but how are we supposed to start narrowing down who it was? The market itself seems unlikely to produce any further clues. We should focus our attention elsewhere. Actually, there is one thing that's been bugging me. There's one group of people involved in this whole situation who actually just don't seem to make any sense. Maybe we can work out by reasoning behind their strange behavior. We can come one step closer to finding our culprit. I still think it's the army. Whom do you mean? Talking about the province army. They haven't done a single thing to try to solve this crime, despite it happening right under their noses. And that begs the question, why not? The market manager said they were refusing to fulfill their roles due to the tax issue, which means the province army should refuse to intervene in quarrels within the market as well. If that's the case, then why did they come and intervene this morning? Now that you mention it, that really doesn't make any sense. Their methods were atrocious, but the fact is, they brought that dispute to an end almost instantly. They did get involved. Yeah, one minute they're refusing to do anything, and the next they're taking a stand. It's definitely suspicious. My point exactly. There's definitely something unnatural about the way they're conducting themselves. And since we have no other leads, what do you say we go to the Army's guardhouse and take a look around? We might be able to learn something from them that could aid us in our investigation. That may be worth an attempt. The guardhouse isn't too far from here either. Let's head over and see what we can find out. AP increased by 1. Where is that? Okay. Really isn't far. Well, it really isn't far. I mean, I just was right there. Aren't you students from the military academy, was it? What are you doing here? We're terribly sorry to trouble you, but we were hoping you might be able to help us with something. Could we ask you a few questions about the incident that occurred at the Grand Market this morning? What does that have to do with you? We're visiting this town on a field study as students of Thor's Military Academy, and we would very much appreciate the chance to see how experienced soldiers such as yourself handle difficult situations. handle difficult everyday situations. Whatever. This seems to be a perfect opportunity for an... they did this again. Screw the word. Case study. And could prove most invaluable to our education if you'd permit it. Alright, stay here. I'll see what I can do. Looks like we might be able to hear what they have to say for themselves after all. Nicely done, Laura. In times like these, we need to make good use of our positions. No one can fault a student for wanting to learn after all. Now comes the hard part. This makes me nervous. Well, just wait and see what we can get out of them. Remember, it's not always what they say that matters, but how they say it. And even more importantly, what they don't say. Right. They are trained soldiers. I hope you appreciate us taking time out of our busy schedules for this. So what do you want? And make it quick. I'm a busy man, you know. He's not even trying to keep up appearances. Unbelievable. I'll be brief then. We came to discuss the incident at the market this morning. Would we be correct in assuming that the Promised Army will be conducting no further investigation? Is that all you came here to say? Is that all? Should the armed forces charged with maintaining peace in this region not be taking this matter more seriously? Laura, I'm not sure. You've got a big mouth for someone your age, and it seems you have a lot to learn about how military units actually work. What do you mean? Let me ask you this. What should the #1 priority of the Provincial Army be in order to maintain the status quo? I'll tell you, the #1 priority should be enforcing the will of their region's ruling lord, Duke Alberea. As members of the Provincial Army, the will of the nobility is absolute. We're just following our orders, protecting what we have a duty to protect. I assume you're referring to the local petition against the sales tax increase. So you're saying as long as the petition isn't withdrawn, the grand market isn't something you have the duty to protect? Interpret my words however you want. We're soldiers, we follow our orders, that's how the military works. And we don't need some fresh military academy egotist telling us how to do our jobs. This is nuts. Does he even have a tiny shred of shame? I was hoping we'd be able to get more, we'd get something more out of him. Whatever. But it sure doesn't seem too likely anymore. So, is that it then? I hope this has been enlightening. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a job to do. Wait. Would you mind answering just one more question? Yet. Fine, ask it. Well, do you have any idea who might have happened? Do you have any idea what might have happened to the goods Marco was handling? You know, the accessory merchant? All he had left was one sample. What are you talking about? The merchant from the capital, Haynes? He was the one who was planning on selling accessories. What? What did you just say? What are you all looking at me like that for? How do you know that? I was under the impression you hadn't investigated the matter at all. How peculiar. We only discovered what each merchant was intending to sell a short while ago ourselves. Got him. Sir, we have our own ways of finding these things out. You do well not to underestimate us. Now, we wasted enough time answering your questions. We're leaving. Yeah, I knew it. Do you think the fact that they know what each of the merchants was selling means they did investigate the matter after all? But the burglary happened last night, and it was only first discovered this morning. Rationally listen. Whoa. I don't think I've butchered a word that bad, ever. Realistically, I don't think there was any opportunity during the time for them to do any digging, not without running into us. Agreed. I suspect they knew what each merchant was planning to sell well in advance of yesterday's incident. Though that would seem easy information for them to learn, since Duke Alberea must have issued permits for both stalls. That's true, and the army would have no trouble gaining access to transaction records for something like that. But why would they bother? Maybe they needed to know so they could prepare. Prepare for what? I get the impression that the incident at the market has been carefully planned out for a while now. I don't think those two merchants being given permits for the same spot was a coincidence either. It probably was done to get them to start fighting so they could get robbed while there was tension between them. Basically to create a situation that couldn't be brought under control without the army's help. So the two merchants were being used all along. It seems to fit perfectly with what happened this morning. Meanwhile, the promised army has shown no interest in actively working towards a solution, unless the market manager chooses to withdraw his petition. So they waited for things to get out of hand and showed up to force both parties into an uncomfortable truce. Eventually, the merchants would get worn down enough and they feel like they'd have no choice but to withdraw the petition. This is turning out to be an even shadier situation than I thought. I called it. I knew it. See, I'm good at stuff like this. Yeah, but thanks to Elliot, I do believe we finally uncovered the truth of the matter. I would have just been blunt. Like, look, bruh. I know it was y'all. I know y'all messed it up. Why you gotta even try to lie? I know it was you. Don't even try to lie. I already know. It's too obvious. You're too obvious. That was indeed some quick thinking you displayed, Elliot. You'd make a fine military strategist. I just got lucky, that's all. So what we know is the Provincial Army is somehow involved with the actual perpetrators of this crime. The only way to solve it once and for all, though, seems to be, well, to find them and catch them. But if this was carried out by members of the Provincial Army, that's not going to be an easy task. No, I don't think anyone from the army was directly involved. Of course not. They have people to do their work for them. The soldiers here are far too proud to dirty their hands with such words I don't know. I tend to agree. Really, whoever the culprits are, I doubt they're still here in Seldic. There just aren't many viable places to hide such a big volume of goods without being found. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe they escaped by train. No, they can't be. Boarding a train with that much merchandise would raise suspicion for sure. It's been less than a day since the burglary happened, so they can't have gotten far. Maybe we should ask around the main roads and see if anyone saw anything out of the ordinary. Someone suspicious may have been spotted leaving or even entering town. That sounds like a wise course of action. Come, let's resume our search. We mustn't let this cowardly thief run free. I wouldn't dream of it. Oh. Which way was that? Other way. It's this way? No. Is it? No. It's this way. Oh, here we go. Child. Lulu, are you okay? Look what the nasty man did to her. Is something the matter? I was chasing after Lulu near the west exit of town, and there was this weird man asleep on the side of the street. A weird man? To sleep in the midst of a bustling town like this, oblivious to its dangers, suggests he must possess formidable skill. Or he was just really drunk. The nasty smell coming off of him nearly made Lulu faint. It's terrible. It really was. I don't know who he is, but I'll have to keep an eye on Lulu and make sure she keeps her distance from him. So he's not from this town then. I'm not sure. I only started seeing him a few days ago. I'd never seen him before that. Really, that sounds like a lead if I've ever heard one. If he's drinking in the middle of the day and isn't Instructor Sarah, then we know he's not a merchant at the very least. Yeah, I think we should go talk to him. Let's have a look near the west exit and see if we can track him down. This is the east. That's the market. I saw this guy earlier. Didn't talk to him, though. He was just lying there. Drink. Bring me another drink. Phew, this guy reeks. How much has he put down? It's only midday, and he's already completely blitzed. People who are drunk are usually more prone to speaking their mouth. Oh, wow. That did not come out right. People who are drunk are usually more prone to spilling stuff they shouldn't be saying. I don't think this is the man we're looking for. I think he'd have trouble pulling off a robbery. Sir, you alright? We can help you back home if you like. Sure, shut up. Leave me alone. I'm just a good-for-nothing who's lost his job. Looking after that nature park. Wish my whole life. Nature park? You kids ain't heard of it. Lunaria Nature Park. In the northwest of here. Used to be the park ranger for that old dump. Then you lost your job. Yeah, out of nowhere, too. I gave my life to that job. And then he just came in and took it all from me. Damn official showed up out of nowhere and told me I was sacked. You can't just take a man's livelihood off him like that. Not fair. The job was my life. My life. Yes, we can see that. Something doesn't sound right here. I agree. It hardly seems fair to take a man's job away from him without a good reason. That's where they're stashing the goods. Go, go. Right. I'm glad someone in here understands how I feel. There's no way a bunch of kids like you are gonna do it like that, are gonna do a better job than me. Kids. I was drinking here last night too. See, a bunch of kids with ranger uniforms went walking out of your town on West Exit last night. I knew it. Weird thing is, they was carrying a bunch of wooden boxes too in the middle of the night. Kids these days, I tell you. You don't think they could have been Nature Park? I wouldn't even have considered it. But the park would no doubt provide a large area enough. It fits perfectly. Yeah, they'd have no trouble fastening merchandise there undetected. Using kids? Lock the entrance, leave a couple of lookouts. No one would suspect a thing for a very long time. If the province officials were the ones to tell him he was fired, that practically is smoking gun. Huh? Did I say something useful or something? Didn't know what I said, but if helping you out, why not buy me a drink? I think you've had enough, sir. I would suggest you start trying to sober yourself up instead. There's a good chance we may be able to recover both your parking and your job. What? We know our next stop. As soon as we're fully prepared, let's head out to the Lunaria Nature Park and stuff. Right. Well, alright, that is all the time we have for this episode of The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel. If you like this episode, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all on the next episode.